wondering why a camel bites, or maybe your camel bites, stay tuned because we're going to cover that in this Camel Q&A.
This is the Camel Connection podcast.
Welcome to our weekly Camel Q&A.
This is where you ask a camel question and we answer it.
I'm Tara.
And I'm Russell. And together, with other camel experts, we answer your camel questions. Hi everyone and welcome back.
Camel Q&A, here we go.
Oh, where are we going?
Oh, to the Camel Q&A show.
Okay, let's do it.
So we get a lot of people contacting us. So this isn't really a direct question, but we thought we'd cover it in this Camel Q&A anyway. We get a lot of people contacting us about their issues they're having with a biting camel. And they all vary to all sorts of degrees on why this camel's biting. It's hard to give a direct answer through, just somebody's written text, but we will cover some simple things today on why maybe even your camel is attempting to bite you or is biting you.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's part of the misconceptions, I suppose, that of camels. You'll hear a lot of people that actually haven't had much to do with camels, and of course that's a majority of the population. But the misconception, of course, is that they're biting, kicking, spitting animals and all that sort of thing, and cantankerous, stubborn,
gorgeous.
Well, that's
nice eyelashes.
Nice eyelashes. That's another one.
Lovely eyelashes.
But yeah, we can only really cover the biting part, which actually relates to the kicking part, which also relates
to any other
to pretty much everything else. The supposed spitting, even though we know, or hopefully we know, that camels can't spit. Did you know that?
Well, I did.
You did.
I know that.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that we need to consider here. And you guys listening, if you have experienced a biting camel, or maybe you have a biting camel as your camel, the thing to remember, even just to ask yourself this question, why is this camel feeling the need to self-defend?
Oh, look, this is it. I mean, I'm just thinking right then at that moment is that the camel's born upside down and naked, and they don't necessarily, as soon as they're born, have this innate urge to go ahead and bite.
Yeah, it's not like a snake where they're doing that. Well, even a snake, I suppose, but they do that. That's a bad example.
That's a shocking example. That's terrible because, of course, snakes have to.
Yeah, to defend themselves. Yeah, I know. It's a terror. Don't listen to that.
Don't listen to that. No.
But yeah, this is the thing that they come out as an all-loving thing, and that any behaviours that they form are learnt behaviours.
Learnt behaviours and habitual.
Yes.
That's a good word. I love that word.
Well, I'm sort of smiling when you say habitual because some camels literally just get into the habit of biting.
Well, that's it, because they actually achieve something.
Yeah.
And that is, the secret one, getting you out of their space.
So let us all, I'm sort of hearing you guys, hopefully in my head, or either that or this whole isolation thing is making me crazy, but but I'm kind of hearing you okay, so your camel is going in for, to bite you, and what happens instantly? You get out of the way.
That's right.
So what has just happened? That camel has just had success of what it intended to do, which is to get you out of its space.
And that may have been because of previous experiences.
Yes.
And of humans and what human beings can be capable of. From a negative point of view.
Yeah.
And this is why, we're saying that it could be a habitual thing, because it's always had success, and because we've always flinched away from the bite.
And it's also could be that that your camel, like something has changed in your camel's environment and they're not happy. Like our job, and we say this all the time, our job as camel owners, as camel connectors, if you're one of our students in our camel school, like our job is to figure out why our camel does things a certain way.
Yeah.
Our job is not to make the camel human. Our job is to make ourselves more camel so that we can understand the camel, have an excellent relationship with them, and have really successful training and handling.
Oh, that's well said. I like that.
We need like an applause button,
No,
don't we?
that's really good. Yeah, no, that's almost a teach. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an indication as to a reason why camels will try to bite.
And I love how you said try to bite. And that is really the biggest takeaway for you guys, because we have seen a lot of, in quotes, biting camels. And it turns out that if given the chance, they wouldn't actually bite you. They would actually...
Most of the time.
Yeah. Well, like, we don't want to put anyone in a bad situation, but this is just our experience, is that it's mostly bluff. And it works.
Yeah, and it works. Because you flinch and you get out of their way, and then they've won.
Yeah.
They've won. They've won that round.
And we've seen some amazing camels. I'm thinking of one in particular that we visited in Western Australia. That, like her, she was such a scared camel, and of course she was, trying to get us out of her space by biting. And we just kept at it consistently, and we just gently and now her handler, she says, she's
over
like,
the moon, isn't she?
She's like all over her, and it, we demonstrated it to this owner, excellent responsible owner, and then she did all the work, and she's just been consistent at it. And that's the thing is, and here's something else I really want to say, and it does upset me a bit that this actually happens, that if somebody is telling you that hitting the camel is going to stop them from biting, let me just say that person is not experienced with camels. It bothers me because animals, especially camels, I mean, of course, especially camels, I'm biased, they just don't need to be hit. They don't need it.
You might get the result in the end. I'm just thinking, from the long-term perspective of how that could work. And yes, you might actually get the result of the camel not hitting, or not biting. If you hit the camel across the nose, for example, that sort of thing. It's something that I don't personally want to go down that road.
Well, and this is, but here's the psychology of the camel we've got to think about. It is not about us.
And, well, the camel then is only not biting, but out of fear. Alright, so you've actually vindicated.
Not out of a relationship.
Out of a relationship.
I like this person.
Yeah, got to be really sort of thoughtful of that one. Because you can end up with the result of the camel not biting.
Well, yeah.
But the camel will only be doing that mainly out of fear of not being hit.
It's not okay to hit them.
And there's that, but also, will the camel at a later stage possibly turn around and just simply say, right, that's it, bang, and go in for it?
Well, I've seen it. We hear about it on the news of camel owners being killed because their camel has turned. And I don't want to do fluffy rainbows and fairies around this stuff. And there are some really simple fixes that you can do to stop your camel biting.
Absolutely.
And one of those things is not hitting them. And we say that people, because people come to this and they say, I was told to, slap the camel on the nose if they did that, which is very common in the horse world, by the way.
Is it?
Well, I used to do it until I learned something different.
Okay.
It's very, very, very common in the horse world.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, you go to any horse event and you'll see it at least once or twice or more.
Okay,
so that's why I kind of have this different perspective on it. Like, it's a very common thing that happens with these large animals, but for camels it's not necessary, and the reason is because if you are slapping them when they are trying to defend themselves, or when they are trying to get you out of their space, or something inside of them is not feeling okay.
You're actually doing a dominance act, aren't you?
Well, you're vindicating the reason on why they're biting in the first place.
Well, that's it.
You've given them that same reason. Like, this is a reason to continue biting me because I'm going to slap you. And as you say, it's like vindicating their fear.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, there are other ways, and it's gentle, quiet consistency and persistency that we're continuously on about to actually get the camel out of that habit. And we're really trying to do a mind shift on the camel, and give it no reason, basically, to even have the urge to bite and get you out of their space. And it takes time, again, and consistency and persistency, and a little bit of guts. A little bit of
what
guts.
do you call it?
Intestinal fortitude.
I love that.
Dad used to say that.
It's great. It's just like, you have to think about it to think about it. Yeah. But this is the thing. I mean, like, we can't answer how to stop your camel from biting in one simple lesson, because every camel has a different reason for biting. And our job and your job as a camel owner is to figure out on why that's happening. And of course we're here to help. Of course we will help you, because, why would you have to tread a really hard path when somebody has done it before you, and that those people are us, like, you're welcome.
I've noticed, I mean, like, in a lot of cultures, and even I've actually seen it here in Australia too, that some camels have to wear like a muzzle, or are wearing muzzles, so owners put muzzles on them to stop the biting. And look, that's legitimate. That's very legitimate. If the owner hasn't actually got the time to go through the processes, or is not in the position to be able to protect themselves or their businesses from, the camel potentially biting a customer, for example, then a muzzle certainly is a good idea. But at the same time, if you do have that time to go and, work with the camel in a particular way to basically give it that mind shift over a period of time, and no reason whatsoever to want to bite.
It's
to do it.
It's a complex answer. Because like I said, it's all different for every camel.
It's psychology again, you get a violent person, for example, and they've been violent, because of their upbringing, for example. I mean, might have been brought up in a household full of violence, and, then they're working with someone who's helping, a psychologist, for example, who understands, what's going on.
We're like camel psychologists.
And, well, look, I know that, labelling, I mean, once you put a label onto something, then people, get on high horses and all that sort of thing, and say, how do they say that? But that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're decoding the camel so that we can translate camel language into human language, and you can have an incredible relationship with this incredible animal that you have. It's really that simple.
Change them around.
And, so like we've given you the basis on why camels bite. So if your only takeaway from this is to ask yourself this question at 2 a.m. in the morning, because it's when all the good questions come, right? Why is my camel feeling the need to defend itself?
Well, exactly.
And then decoding it from there.
At the end of the day, I mean, if you do spend the time and the effort, I mean, even we've got a camel that was actually quite dangerous when we got her. She proved herself to be dangerous quite a number of times. And there was something in her that I saw, and, I've been continuously working with her, to, as you say, decode or to change behaviour patterns, to make her realise that there is no reason for her to be dangerous or to behave in such a way. There's no cause. And it's taken a long time. It's taken a long time, and a lot of that intestinal fortitude at times too. Yeah, she was a biter as well, but also a front leg stomper, and everything else that went with it. Now, I haven't seen her behave in such a way of attempting to bite or front leg stomp now for a good year and a half, maybe. There hasn't been any evidence whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, nothing. In fact, she comes up to me and wants the human touch and the human attention and the praise and the cuddles and everything else about it.
And like it's
that's the goal.
Well, here's the interesting thing is she's what I call a second-hand camel. So we're her second owners. So there had been some formal training prior to that. So like we have to go through this whole decoding process, but not just to give her a chance. Like well, here's your chance. We're kind people, and she would take a little while to see that, but when she does, she'll come around.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it boils down to. Is if you treating your animals as if the way that you want to be treated. There you go. There's a biblical.
Well, that's not always accurate because some people don't treat themselves all that well. So treat them.
But they might want it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be treated well.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we've gone. We like to keep these short and sweet. But if you would like camel help, we are here to help. And I want you to remember that this is our life purpose is to help people like you, camel owners, camel lovers, all that sort of stuff. So you can just contact us through our website, camelconnection.com, if you need to reach out to us. Maybe you want some help with a biting camel. We can help with that and we'd be more than happy. We do video consults with people all over the world, which is so cool. We can connect like that. Like we don't have to come to you, which at times like this with the COVID-19 virus, it's very convenient. We just video call people and we help them get connected, camel connected again.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay, well, thanks for tuning in and we'll catch you on the next one.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.
If you found this Camel Q&A helpful, please let us know. Leave a review wherever you're listening from.
Do you have a camel question for us? Head over to camelconnection.com to ask your camel question now.